And it starts with the runner. That's the best part. If you've ever gone to a marathon and you're watching the runners come in and you see a couple guys come in with 2 high caliber gunshot wounds to the chest, or so it seems. They're wearing a cotton t-shirt or a bad t-shirt that's moving, nipples chafe, blood streaming down. That is the start. Or woman takes her first step, and as she takes her first step, her tight pulls down, and she spends the rest of the run readjusting her tights, pulling them back up. That's where the process starts. The process starts with the runner and a better run. The best running product you have, you should not have to think about at all. It should be an extension of who you are. It should start with the body and work with the body in motion. So we start with that. We start with a seasonal need for a consumer, and then from there, we create what's called a product brief, where we focus on the consumer, because there are different consumers out there, from the Kenyan marathoner that wants to break the world record. The last 5 of those were in Adidas Adizero Apparel, to the I'm going to go for my first run, like couch to 5K. There are certain things that connect them, but the consumer is a little bit different. So we look at that consumer and then we create a product brief. And from there, that product brief also talks about what we think we're going to make it out of, some fabrics we know, some key features it has to have. For Adidas, those are what we call run right features, and that goes to fit, feel, and transition of every piece. And then we sit with the design team and we do our pitch. And we say, this is our vision of what we're going to do. And the designers bring in that style aspect. So we're talking form, we're talking about the consumer, and then the designer is solving a problem in the 2D. So they're taking what we talked about in fabric, what we talk about in price, and then they're going through a balancing act of trying to get everything that consumer wants without going over the price that we've set. From there, the third part of that triad is development. The developers breathe life into the vision and the sketch, and then we work together as we look at it, and they're also tasked with the pricing aspect as well. So there's a reality in all of it. We can't, if a shirt has to cost $40, it has to have a specific FOB. It has to have a cost that we go to. And so it's then a process of value to consumer and vision of product. And so we'll go through 3 major design rounds where we bring the design, development, and the comms team and the marketing team together, and we look at product. And as we work together, we're trying to see, does this hold value? Is this what the consumer wants? Most importantly, at the center of all of it is it right for the consumer? Is it going to solve the problem? When that comes in, we'll get people to run in that. And then after we get that feedback from real runners, we move to a second sample round to fix everything that happened in the first sample round or didn't work. And then on again, we'll actually do a third and fourth round of build, test, adjust. And that process takes about 9 of the 18 months come down there in the testing. The briefing and understanding consumer and understanding problems, that's another 6 months, and that last 3 months is the sell-in. So that's when we're finishing and going to the product creation and inline. So you have to figure it takes time to make it takes time to dye it, and it takes time to ship it all over the world. So by the time it gets to your store or it gets to the runner, the first person to get into it and be able to buy it, it's 18 months.